Hi guys, today we're going to react to The Forgotten One by Times of Grace. This is a Buy Me a Coffee request from PeterG. Thank you, Peter, for this request and for all your ongoing support. Much appreciated.
Thank you, PeterG, for all the requests coming our way. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Words slowly lead me to the cracks in my disguise. My flesh a prison for the man behind these eyes. I sing the epitaph for an unnamed king, carved in this tombstone of the lost pieces of me. How far is the distance between you and I? How long before this silence dies? Lost in a sea of sadness, blind in this place of darkness. If I fall, would you be there to raise me up? Or will I be the forgotten one?
This is a second time covering Times of Grace, and I have to say there's something slightly different between the two songs. I'm not sure exactly, but this one does not feel maybe as dark as the other one. There's a sort of a country rock, but also like a maybe almost like a mainstream country rock sound to it. The beginning really reminded me of Bon Jovi, like Blaze of Glory or Wanted Dead or Alive. I actually thought it was very, very close stylistically, obviously, that guitar at the beginning. Then, once they get into the song, it does straight away remind us of the previous song we've done of theirs. I think we brought this up the first time, but we weren't sure. But I'd say, yeah, they're very much a Christian rock band. It's pretty clear, not just from a lot of the lyrics, but also from the sound itself. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like simple and to the point, the way the music hits you, but I like it. It's got a pleasant sound and I'm enjoying it. The lead singer has a pretty cool voice. They're kind of growing on me, I feel slowly. It's a familiar style to me that I do enjoy.
I always like when we stumble across songs like this. It's a mood setter. It calibrates you to a certain frequency that puts you at ease to better enjoy it. Many songs are mood setters, but this one feels to be distinctively purposed to do that, to put you in a state of calm. Also, the guitar at the beginning immediately made me think of the rural US or Coen Brothers films. Something that has to do with a man living in a house where there are no neighbors miles away, or small towns. So far, I'm contemplating two different meanings to the narrator in the song. To me, at least, it's either a person who is struggling with their own faith and realizing that their path is full of challenges, or it's a person that has very strong faith, but at the same time finds it difficult to find like-minded people. It's between those two in my mind, at least, those two interpretations.
Yeah, to me, it feels like it's someone who is struggling with their identity, somebody who is in some kind of isolation, whether it's physical or mental. From those lines of the chorus, lost in a sea of sadness, blind in this place of darkness, if I fall, would you be there to raise me up, or will I be the forgotten one? I got a feeling of a sense of depression. Basically, someone who's stuck in some kind of a rut, who maybe hit rock bottom and can't really see a way out and is in need of help and is not sure if there are any friends left to help him. So there's a sense of potentially redemption. There was a line in there that said, I sing the epitaph for an unnamed king, carved in this tombstone all the lost pieces of me. So it feels like it's a person talking about their own gravestone and basically about who they used to be and the lost pieces. So it's basically, I used to be this person and now this is all that's left. Can I regain this back? That's kind of what I'm getting from it so far, but it's a sort of a very small sample. But it's always interesting the way those types of songs are put together.
Yeah, like it makes more sense. It's a person who has gone through a great ordeal and tumultuous life, and he's now maybe conversing with the Almighty, asking for help to put him back together.
Lead me to the crossroads, I can find my way home. Devils on my back and angels in between. The scars and dreams that made me believe. Where's the choir sing now in remembrance of me? When our eyes meet, do you know the man beneath? Walk the line between desperate and redeemed, lost in a sea of sadness, blind in this place of darkness. If I fall, would you be there to raise me up? Or will I be the forgotten one?
Something about the title of the song raises questions. The Forgotten One. I had it in my mind, a person who is in a bad place and he's asking for help, and he is concerned because he sees how some people end up. He sees that not everybody gets redemption and are able to climb out of the hole that they're in. And then it made me think, but he addresses himself as the forgotten one, like there can only be one forgotten. It's like he's asking, will I be the one who falls between the cracks? Will I be the one who will not be saved? Like he feels he doesn't deserve to be saved. And forgotten means not a person who's judged by his deeds, but somebody who just fell between the cracks, somebody that was forgotten about. It raises questions.
I think there's definitely a fear there of being forgotten, of not receiving the help that he needs to get that redemption. So kind of feeling like, is this it for me? Am I going to make it out of this? Is this how I'm going to be for the rest of my life? It feels to me like it's a place where the narrator feels like he's lost everyone. So there's no family, no friends, no one there to offer a helping hand. So he's talking to someone who could just be air. It could be God or the powers that be, or it just could be a friend he used to have. If I fall, would you be there to raise me up, or will I be the forgotten one? And the other option is that he's talking to himself. He's saying, will I be able to lift myself out of this? Or will I actually forget myself, forget who I am, who I was, or who I'm supposed to be? But it seems like he's asking for outside help, potentially from God. Like that line that started the verse after the chorus that says, lead me to the crossroad, I can find my way home. He's basically saying, put me at a spot where I can make a decision again, where I have choices. I'll make the right choice, just get me there. You know, he says, devils on my back and angels in between. So the devils are now in some way behind. The angels are ahead. I need to get to that. So it's just interesting. It's very well told. There's a storytelling aspect here that makes trying to break it down a lot more fun.
Yeah. Also, the term forgotten, it hints at a person that is not certain of his own worthiness to be saved. Because to be forgotten is different than to be undeserving. To be forgotten is to be like you've never existed. It's about a person who is uncertain of their own importance.
There was a beautiful section there. He says, the scars and dreams that made me believe, where's the crime scene in remembrance of me? When our eyes meet, do you know the man beneath? Walk the line between desperate and redeemed. I'm trying to kind of read it and break it down, and I'm thinking, is he talking to someone? Is he talking to himself? Is this a man looking in the mirror? And it could be either or. It doesn't actually really matter. It's just a person who's reached that point where they know they can't really keep going the way they're going, and they need to do something, and they're seeking help either outwardly or from inside. There's a beauty to it.
Forgotten one. And my hymns and songs for the broken, through every word that was spoken, do I carry hope for the hopeless?
Nice.
Yeah.
There was the section there where they were harmonizing over the chorus, and that actually kind of gave me goosebumps, just kind of chilling. The guitar at the end again took me back to those Bon Jovi songs that I was referring to earlier. Something very, very cool about this song. It's a serious, deep kind of song, but at the same time, there's something a little bit lighter, and I thought towards the end that it gave sort of a sense of hope, so it's not such a downer.
I kind of got a more melancholic vibe from it because it's a person who, as I said earlier, is uncertain of what the outcome is going to be with him. And he realizes he needs help, but even at the very end, he doesn't know if it's going to work out. So he keeps asking the question, will you help raise me up, or will I be the forgotten one? Specifically because of that word, forgotten, that I find it so sad. Forgotten, like he's aware that many people don't make it out. They stay in that hole and they die in that hole. And he's really unsure of his future. And there's something scary about that. You can safely say that there's nobody there to tell him that everything's going to be all right. He will likely be left with that question because there's no resolve in the song.
Overall, I agree, but if you look at the song, you'll see that in the structure, you've got like a verse, a chorus, a verse, a chorus. But the third one is a different kind of verse. It's more sort of a bridge to another section of chorus at the end, because most songs kind of have to, end on a chorus. But that section there, it says, and my hymns are songs for the broken. In some respect, you can see that and think, okay, it's a way to sort of warn others because, they can look at what happened to me and learn from it. And then it says, through every word that was spoken, do I carry hope for the hopeless? To me, that could mean that, or it could also mean that, hey, I am making a change here. I know where I am. I'm going to get myself out of this hole. In that way, I will be an example and hope for the hopeless. He's recognizing that by climbing out of that hole and finding that redemption, he can also be a source of inspiration to others. It could be right, it could be wrong. It's just kind of how I read that bit and the way they sang it as well. There was a little bit more intent and almost like anger. The voice became a little bit more gravelly, like they were trying to push a point. And to me, that brought like a sense of hope at the end.
Yeah. It could either mean that, which is, I think it's the nicer outcome, and it could also have a sense of nobility in it if he's not planning or he's not sure if he's going to make it out. So you might be saying, if I'm going down, the least I can do is try to resonate with people who suffer like I have and warn them not to be where I am so they can save themselves. Like a person who is in quicksand, and instead of trying to save themselves, they use their last breath to warn other people not to sink in the quicksand as well, not to come there.
It's almost like learn from my mistake because of where I ended up, or learn from how I approached my mistake and triumphed. So it could be either or. I kind of choose to believe that it's the latter. Because it's just a more inspiring and maybe just gives a better angle to this kind of story, if you know what I mean. But you're right, it could be either or. But I really enjoyed it either way because, again, digging into these kinds of lyrics, listening to the song, there's something that pulls you in about the way that they put their songs together. And yeah, so far, I'm just really, really enjoying their music. Thank you, PeterG, for another Times of Grace request. We really enjoyed this one, as we did the previous one. Keep them coming. Thank you for the ongoing support. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks PeterG for requesting this song. We enjoyed reacting to Times of Grace very much. More like this will be much appreciated. And thank you for all your ongoing support. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you get notified on all our future videos. If you have a song in mind you'd like us to react to, please make a request through BuyMeACoffee. The link is at the top of the description below. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
If you'd like to take a look at our previous Times of Grace reaction, it should be up on the screen sometime about now. Give it a click, check it out. Also, another amazing song. Thank you so much for all your support. We appreciate you. We'll be back in a couple of days with a new episode. We hope to see you all then. Thanks again, guys. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.